What's going on, everybody? It's What's Cookin NYC, New York's official hottest podcast for all the upcoming entrepreneurs around the city. So today, as y'all can see, that's a new intro for the old viewers, for the new viewers, new intro. So bear with me there. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. Drop some poop emojis for me. But today, I'm joined by a good colleague of mine, somebody that I've known for a while, but actually didn't really get to formally know, if that makes sense, like till recently. So Dytanya Mixson, he's going to talk about what he does on the media side as well as other ventures that he's had. So, Mix, it's definitely a pleasure to have you here. Take it away.
So we
No, just introduction,
Dytanya Mixson. I have been entrepreneur for some time now. 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I don't talk about myself a lot.
I feel you.
Yeah, like ask me a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a new intro for us. So bear with us with the awkwardness. I know y'all probably get those a lot of comments in a lot of critiques in the comments or whatnot. But so so like I said, Mix is somebody I knew for a while, but I didn't actually know. I knew from the marketing business, the MLM era and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I said, we didn't recently get to know each other till recently. I feel like the first time we spoke was through TikTok. That was the first time we ever had a conversation. It was on TikTok.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't even be on TikTok like
For
that,
real?
bro.
Oh, I guess you got a fake page.
That might have been a fake page.
No,
what's your TikTok? I don't.
No, it's the What's Cooking page. I don't have an actual TikTok.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't think that was me.
Shit, that was like.
What was the conversation about?
You just hit me. I was like, yo, what's going on, bro? I was like, good. He was like, we got work soon. I was like, all right, bye. Simple. Like it was. You feel me?
Hold on. I don't think that was me.
This was a while. This was
this
was probably the winter time.
There's a TikTok page that hit everybody up. Like my cousins be hitting me up like, yo, bro, this you? Like some people know it's not me.
I feel like the vibe that it gave, I didn't believe it was you at first. That's the funny part, because I'm just like, I don't know, it was kind of awkward. The way it had to be a fake page. I mean, that's why I bought it. That's why I bought it up here. So, y'all watching out there, just know, fake page out there. Make sure y'all report it.
That is sick.
Yeah, but to go back to the story though, it's like I knew you from then, and it's like I always knew because you always around certain people that's behind the show, Jasim, JSDG. Calvin, 40 Cal, for those of y'all, and a couple others, and even to Lanai was a part of the business. She spoke highly of you. Those two guys, they spoke highly of you. Future guest Max, he definitely spoke highly of you all the time. So definitely somebody that I always wanted to keep in my network, always have it, have that connection with. So so fast forward to that, then it's like I see all the things that you've done. I've seen the work and the media side, and even too as a barber. I didn't even know you were a barber. Do you still cut or?
So as of right now, I cut on the side because I have a chair because I cut my own hair. I have a chair, and I really only cut friends and family because everybody can't come to my house to get a haircut. So it's like I gotta have a certain relationship with you for you to get a haircut. And again, I cut. I charge to cut. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But I don't cut for money necessarily, because when we had started the business, when I stopped cutting, I had a lot of friends that was like they felt abandoned, and they was like, "Yo, I can't get a haircut no more." I'm just like, "Yo, I don't have the time to do it." But when that slowed down and I started to get more time again, I was like, you know what, I can cut again. So, because I got two friends that they hate going to any other barber, and then people were asking where they get their haircut. And then when they tell them that their barber is a part-time barber, it never makes sense to them. Because it's like, how you got a great haircut from somebody who doesn't cut hair? Who
doesn't do it all the time, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a skill. I picked up cutting hair in high school, actually. There's a barbering class in my high school. There's a whole barbershop in my high school now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in high school, I used to watch, all the YouTubers that are, big now. This is, in their early stages. So I was watching, Jeezy, 360 Jeezy. I was watching... Get Beamed. Yeah, Get Beamed. I love this. To this day, I still watch some of his videos when I have the time to. But yeah, I was watching a couple of the barbers coming up and whatnot when they had 1,000 subscribers. Now they're at 1 million plus.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like it was that and DJing. Those were the two like side hustles that I wanted to do like as a kid, like a teenager, whatnot. Never got the chance to actually take it up seriously because I just I was kind of lazy in the sense of I didn't try to figure it out myself, like find it, and then two, like I said, I was lazy. So I was lazy on the dependency side where I was looking for somebody to kind of teach me how to do it, put me on whatever, but didn't really put my foot out there to really like do those things. So yeah, that was definitely it. So yeah, when I seen like you were a barber, I was like, oh shit, I was like, this guy's Superman over here. What doesn't he do? You know, like it was random too. Like I just seen on somebody's story randomly. Like it's not something that I seen you post yourself. Like
yeah, I don't post. I actually try not to market it because it gets weird to me. Like when someone hits me up and they want to cut, and it's like I don't really know you. I will do house calls, but house calls expensive.
Yeah.
So
oh no, of course. Yeah.
it's like again, it become weird because I can get a cut, and it's like not really because I don't know you can't come to my house.
Right.
But again, that's why I try not to post it that much because again, when you start marketing it happens that way. But
yeah. And speaking of marketing, I mean, I don't know how you feel on it because some people like they don't like to go back to the marketing days and whatnot. But you know, you were very successful at what you did in the marketing aspect, and you know, I thought it was real. I thought it was real too. Like the fact that you put on your father, of course, right?
Yeah.
And he was also hitting like high status with you. So I thought that was real that about your families, because I feel like there was a lot of people that use their parents' names like to make fake accounts and stuff like that. You actually like took your father there with you, where it's like, hey, I'm at this high 6-figure status with my father. Like we both doing it individually. You know, I thought that was real right there. I know Jasim, he personally like he doesn't like when I mention like the business. I don't know what it is with him personally, but I know he's gonna watch this too. But he personally like has his reasons. But usually like some of the guests, it's like some of them they don't like to go back to those days or whatever. They try to embrace what they had, and like Cal, he definitely embraced what he did.
Say, I don't mind at all. Everything happens for a reason. Like that, if
y'all were successful at it too. That's why I was just like,
I don't get into it. I don't start thinking the way that I think. I don't start recognizing opportunities the way that I recognize them now. So again, everything has its purpose. Some people don't like to relive it. Oh, people talk about it. Whatever. What you gonna say to me? You can't really say nothing too crazy. You gonna make a joke? I will laugh with you. The jokes be funny.
Yeah, I do laugh with people. Yeah, Ross knows I laugh about all the time when it comes to like the Forex era and stuff like that.
I was about to say I did everything the right way though. I still trade to this day.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too because Maxie definitely spoke highly on you in that regard. Where you're saying like you, Jasim, Cal. I mean Cal, I know because I've worked with Cal like a couple of times, but they were saying like you guys are like really good at what y'all do on the trading side as well. So it's like, for me, it's like you said, what can I really make fun of if I really do this? I really live this,
Exactly. So that's why, again, it's like, I have no reason not to want to talk about it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But, so, like, from there, it's like, I also see the media side now. So is that something that you were always doing, or is that something that you picked up, like, around that time, like, the pandemic time? Because that's when I started seeing it, around, like, the pandemic time. I started seeing, like, the Mixson media and whatnot.
It's a funny story. I started getting into that because of barbering. So I was cutting hair in college. In college, the barber on campus, it's kind of a big deal.
It is.
But I was not bad. I was pretty good. I was better than a lot of people. But when I go back and look at it now, it's like I bought a camera because I used to feel like my haircuts look so much better in person than they do when I took a picture on my phone. And I didn't understand why. So I bought a camera to take better pictures of my haircuts because I just felt like it wasn't an accurate representation. When I go back, the haircuts just wasn't that good. They was all right. And then when I got the camera, I had to figure out how it worked because you can put it on auto, but it doesn't, again, to get the best results out of it, again, like it looks just like my phone. I had to figure out how it works. I'm such a nerd that when I started figuring out how it works, I had to figure it out more. And I've always been like, I don't call myself the most creative person in the world, but I've always been slightly creative. My mother has had a camera growing up, and my dad is one of those dads that he records everything. Like he sent me a 25-minute video of him changing my diaper one day. And I sat there for maybe 16 minutes. And then after that, I text him like, what was the purpose of this? Like, what am I waiting to happen? He was like, oh, nothing. It was just a memory.
Yeah.
You just sent me a 25-minute video.
I mean, I'm the same way, but I'm not going to that deep of an extent, you know.
No, he's insane. He records everything. So, again, it's kind of came naturally, and I'm big on learning new things. So, and again, I'm big on business. When I started realizing I was charging what 25 for a haircut, and people were charging 150 for a photo shoot. I was like, that photo shoot is also 30 minutes. The haircut is 30 minutes. So I'm like, that's 6 haircuts in the same amount of time.
I mean, that was kind of, I feel like after the pandemic, haircuts went up OD.
Yeah, absolutely.
25 was definitely like pretty average for haircuts, so that's not a bad price.
But again, it's at the end of the day, I spent 30 minutes. This photographer spent 30 minutes, and they made 6 times more money than me. Granted, I didn't think about the editing and the other stuff that goes into it, but I just was like, okay, this is something that has more earning potential than barbering.
Also, too, in the moment too, it looks like there's less like physical motion. Like, you know, you're standing, you're moving around, you're moving the chair. You know, you got the clippers in your hand. They're literally just standing with it, like, you know, clicking the camera.
Exactly.
Just
so
like clicking.
When I seen that,
moving,
I said,
like,
okay, I'm
lighting.
shifting focuses because this has more earning potential. And I actually really, really started to fall in love with it. I didn't do it as much in the business because you can only focus on one thing at a time. And I was focused on learning how to trade, also with running the business. Once I learned how to trade, though, again, I don't have to, there's no more learning involved. There's no more like active, I guess, brain computation. I still have to think, but I know what I'm looking for. So I get up, and if it's not there, it's not there. It's not like, oh my God, what happened? How did this happen? So now that I had that down, I just shifted back to focusing on media.
Yeah, so just to backtrack a little bit, so you said you did all this during college. You're also like you were a student athlete.
So this is all after college.
Oh, okay.
Well, no.
Well, no, you said the barbering was
Barbering was in college. I got the camera in college. It's funny, when we had media day at my sophomore year, when we had media day, I also took pictures like of my teammates. I got this one picture of my teammate doing like a reverse dunk. He had mad bounce, and it was still fire to this day. But yeah, I was doing all of that at the same time.
Yeah, where'd you play ball at?
Niagara County Community College. It's a D2 JUCO upstate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you try to get like those the D1.
Nah, I mean, I got hurt pretty bad at one point, and I came back. I was fine, but mentally, that kind of just like it took me. I got tired of the politics aspect of it. I was a late bloomer, so like I was skilled, but I didn't have the resume on paper to go certain places. So. Again, I would come home in the summer. I'm playing against all these guys that's playing in all these high levels, and I'm hanging with them. But yet, on paper, I don't look as good.
Right.
And I got tired of, especially after, again, what I learned in the business and everything, I got tired of a coach having to believe in me. I got tired of somebody having to give me a chance. I was over that. So
yeah, because I feel like, especially we just seen in the draft. The draft was what, like 2 days ago, yesterday? It's like you seeing like a bunch of these guys having stories. Oh, I went JUCO, then I went D1. And like, what's it called? The Lakers got that guy, Connect. Dalton, right? That's his first name.
I have no idea.
The guy from Tennessee, though. Yeah, I think it's Dalton, but yeah, no, he went D2 JUCO, and then he went D1 right after. I feel like it's a trend I'm seeing, like with a lot of these picks, like the past couple years or whatnot.
No, it's definitely possible, and I feel like people's eyes have opened up. And I tell my little cousin, he's going to play. He actually went to my prep school that I used to go to. He had 19 Division I offers, and he's going to Indiana State now. Okay. I tell him all the time, you can go to the NBA, but you have to figure out what is needed of you. Like I didn't have a chance because I didn't know the work I actually had to put in to get there. Because he has the tools. Like I have the height, I have the size, but again, I didn't even know like this kid's waking up training 6 a.m. with their pops.
Yeah.
I was going to class,
and then
putting
see
up
those videos.
35 shots maybe. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do that. So I was telling him, you can do whatever you want with this. He's 6'6", athletic, good jump shot, all of that. But you got to understand what it actually takes for you to get there. And if you do that, there's no reason you can't. Yeah,
because I just seen a reel too. They were saying like we're transitioning out of this like hood era where it's like inner city athletes, like that was, I mean, of course, like, you know, us growing up in high school, most of the top athletes were like from the inner city and whatnot. And now it's like the top athletes in the country are like the sons of who came up from the inner city and whatnot. Like for example, you look at Team USA for basketball. Carlos Boozer's kids in there. Well, I think he has 2 kids in there. Of course, you got LeBron's son in there. Um, who else? You got Melo. Actually, no, Bryce didn't make it yet because he's younger. But you got Melo's son. You got Gilbert Arenas' son. Trevor Ariza's son. It's like damn, like all these NBA players, their sons are like taking over. You know.
One, there's a major concept at play that a lot of us don't realize, and they've actually seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't believe in something that you've never seen happen. Think about it. Me
No, of
growing
course.
up, nobody I know went to the NBA. So when I'm in high school and people ask me what I want to do, I used to say I wanted to be an architect or an accountant. If anyone would have
That's
asked
crazy.
me,
I'm gonna count it now.
if
But,
anybody would have asked me what that is, I wouldn't be able to tell them. I was good at math, and I knew every time I gave that answer, people was excited about, oh, wow, that's dope. So I just kept giving that answer. I didn't actually know what it was.
mm-hmm.
I just knew it had something to do with math, and I was good at math. But if you tell them what you actually want to do, you want to go to NBA, everybody says what? Oh, what else? Can you get a plan B?
That's crazy too because I had he's like a little bro to me. My boy Malik, he's in the XFL. He's actually in the training camp for NFL right now. And he was saying like, he went to Villanova. Everybody's like, what else? So
exactly.
it sounds like deja vu hearing that right now.
If you don't know that's possible, you don't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not gonna do the work because you don't actually think it's possible. If your father was in the NBA though, why the hell can't I go to the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Ariza is my dad. I know I can go to the NBA, so I'm gonna keep working at it.
Especially you got millions of dollars to afford those trainers, those the health plan, the diets, the gym service, all that.
Exactly. So don't get me wrong.
trainers.
It's possible to still do it if you're not in that environment, but it takes a very special person to have that delusion, to where everyone is telling you something's not possible or that you should think about something else, and you're just like, no. Like that takes a very, very special person. But that's why, like now, I talk to any kid. I tell them, look, whatever it is you want to do, just make sure you figure out what comes with that, and you could do it.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Even you look at Michael Jackson and all the success stories. There was somebody in their life who had a plan for them. It's very rare that it just happens, or you just so delusionally confident that it happens.
I like that you hit that point too of people being able to see something happen to believe it, basically, right? Because, I mean, of course, through the marketing business, people seen you hit those levels of success, for everything that you've done, on the marketing side, on the trading side, and it definitely inspired them to, want to do better and whatnot. And then too, just from like everything that's going on, like even if it's not somebody that you know, but somebody from your town. Like, for example, Kai Cenat. It's a lot of people that, especially in New York, that's taking content creation seriously because they're seeing the doors that he's getting into. Even, what's his name? Speed? I personally don't...
I think it's Speed, yeah.
Speed, but it's like, I know Speed was... I know if... I don't know if you're familiar with my co-host, Michael.
I didn't know he was your co-host, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, like, he's huge into wrestling, and it's like... Seeing Speed at WrestleMania for him inspired him because, I mean, I guess Speed is, I don't know if he's from New York. I thought he was from, like, maybe Jersey or something. Like, I thought he was, from another, I'm not in tune with these guys, but for him, it inspired him more because he felt like, seeing Speed at WrestleMania meant he could be at WrestleMania. And, so, like you said, sometimes you just got to see those things happen and it works for you. It's like, for me, I've seen people make millions of dollars doing various things. Ross knows, I just had an episode with, just one guy that I knew back when I was in college, like, he was just like, somebody that was like, he was a friend of ours. He was in town and whatnot. And he was like just somebody that we knew. He didn't actually go to school with us, but we seen this dude take the meme coins and make millions of dollars with his wife, and start up all these businesses and all these new ventures. Every time I'm on the phone with him, he has a new idea that he's either jump starting or he just has an idea that he wants to bring to my attention to see what I could help him do with that. So it's just like seeing it and actually understanding that it's possible definitely takes you, to new heights for yourself mentally.
It's human nature. It goes as far back as the whole 4 minute mile story.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? I think they said something crazy. Like they used to say, scientists used to say, I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I remember reading something or hearing something that scientists used to say like the human body cannot run a mile in 4 minutes, and then one person did it, and now everybody does it in the Olympics every year.
Mm-hmm.
It just, again, it has to be a certain level of tangibility for you to feel like, and again, that could come from within you, because that first person who did it, he just was like, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong, and now everybody does it.
Because sometimes too, and it goes back to actually our episode with Jasim. Sometimes too, it's not even about being a trendsetter. It's sometimes just about being innovative. But in this case, it is about being a trendsetter, because people don't always believe until somebody actually does it, right? So it motivates people to say, hey, I want to be that first person. I want to go be the one to do it. Because my thing was always, somebody's gonna do it anyways. If you took somebody from the history textbook and like erase them completely, somebody's still gonna fill in that slot somewhere down the line, right? Barack Obama, first black president. You take him out the textbook, somebody's still gonna be the first black president somewhere down the line. I mean, you would hope so, but like it's that kind of ideology there where it's like somebody's meant to do it, it's gonna happen. Yeah. So just to go back, just into your ventures and whatnot. So Mixson Media now. So Mixson Media starts. How was like the reception at first?
I mean, I feel like it was always been pretty good. Like it's funny now because I feel like I've reached, even recently, like in terms of the last 3 weeks, I feel like I've reached another level in like just everything that I've been doing. Cause I'm big on growth. I don't even like in production. It's one day a week I don't edit. I just learn new effects, color grading. I won't edit. Like even if I have someone's there's one day a week I set aside just to learn new things. So I feel like I've reached another level, and I will talk to some of my closest friends who have seen like my content and videos and pictures and everything grow, and they're like, yo, the growth is amazing. But the crazy part is, to me, it's like even 2 years ago when I was doing stuff, we thought it was fire then, but then it's like it just keeps getting more and more fire. And now I go back and look, and I feel like I recently I went on my media page. I deleted a lot of old stuff because I feel like it doesn't even represent the work that I can do now.
Right.
But at the time, I remember when I made it, I was like, nah, this is fire. And then it's like, to go back and look at it, it's like, that is very average. So I always felt like I was
the same
really
way
good.
too.
And even like I remember a lot of the people close to me felt like I was really good. But again, I never was satisfied with that. I never was like, oh, that's enough. Because again, I say it, one of my closest friends, my friend Dre, I'll be about to put a video out and I'll be frustrated because I can see something in my head that's like a 10 out of 10. And then I'll make it and it's like, this is like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 in comparison to what I wanted it to be. But then I'll go, you know what, whatever. It's funny, J. Cole, he had a song on the album that he just dropped, the one, Trade the Truth and Ibiza. Right. He talks about like not overthinking and perfectionist and all of that. And I really resonated with that. That's
Virgo mentality right there. I'm a Virgo, and people say this about me all the time. I'm not a horoscope guy, though, just for the record. I'm not, but I hear it too many times.
Yeah, I really have resonated with that because I was like, you know what? I'm going to just put it out anyway. And he'll send it to me like, yo, this the video you said you hated? I'm like, yeah. He said, I feel like this is the best video you've ever made. And I was like, yeah, it might be the best one to this day, but it's not as good as it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I go through that with myself.
I definitely do.
I just be like, you know what? Because I have some things, and I hold on, even photo shoots, like I hold on to it for so long that I don't do anything with it. And 6 months from now, 8 months from now, it's irrelevant because I changed something, or it's, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't, now I got a beard. This is from mad long ago. I can't post this now. Or now I got a slit in my eyebrow, so I can't. It looks different. It looks off. And again, I nitpick at everything. I feel like it's a blessing and a curse, because that's why I can get really good at stuff, because I pay attention to detail.
Right.
But when you criticize things like that all the time, it's tough to accept it.
That's true. Because the thing is though with that is just like that's kind of what you need a support team around you for, because at least they'll give you honest opinions and whatnot. I mean, of course, there are people out there that are yes men, but just having that honesty always is gonna be key to everything that you do, because for a lot of people too, when it comes to music, what do people always say? Like, oh, I didn't think this was gonna be a hit, but then they told me to put it out. I put it out, and now it's the biggest song of the summer or whatever time period that it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, hey, music's a timeless thing at that. So it's like, even if it's not just a song of the summer, it could be the song forever, you know. So yes, that's why it's always good to have a good support team. Because, like I said, I go through it myself where I overthink. I critique myself hard on everything. Even this intro, like I did. I don't know if Ross is gonna edit it out, but I done did 4 takes for the intro, and in my head I had it perfectly. Like last night I had it perfectly. Yesterday when I was in the shower, I was thinking about I had it perfectly.
Did you practice it though?
I did. I did. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely not I can't say it's a stage fright thing because I have an audience, and two, it's like I look at the camera often, so I don't know what happened there, but I guess probably because it's the first time. It's always good. You always get tripped up the first time.
I've been looking at you.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, if the audience has something to say, hey, they're gonna critique it. But that's kind of how I see it, though. It's like sometimes I'm hard on myself, and when I go to people and they tell me how things are, and they tell me what it is for the real, I try to look at it from their perspective, and it opens my eyes to like a bigger idea or a bigger vision. So, yeah. So then, what else have you like been into though? Like I feel like you're a jack of all trades type of guy. So maybe it's something I haven't hit that you probably been working on.
I mean, not business wise. Like I got into roller skating about a year ago, but that's just for fun. I actually did start modeling. Yeah, that's really.
Yeah.
That's really it. I've been just focused on, again, getting things bigger and better with the media business. I didn't really like modeling. Wasn't something that I seen myself taking seriously, but when I seen like some of those checks that I forgot. Well, even some of the gigs I didn't get that I was just like in the running for. It's like, hold on, that was what?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, hold on, I might have to do that.
There's this one guy. I think his name is like Tyler something. I forgot. But there's this one guy. I see him on every website.
Really?
Like he model. Like, and it got to a point where I'm thinking they take his picture and they Photoshop the clothes onto him, because it's like it'll be the same pose, the same scenery, and it's just him in whatever outfit. I'm just like, I don't know if they just take this picture, Photoshop the clothes on, but I see this guy do every brand. Matter of fact, I have a friend. He moved down to ATL. He has a clothing line called Imperium Worldwide. I seen he just got this guy to model for him. So I'm just like, yo, the modeling is like, that's something that nobody really takes it, like nobody looks at it like it's something huge for what it is. They just look at it more like a clout thing where it's like, okay, your face is out there, but I'm sure them checks is definitely, especially in this influencer era.
You get the right jobs. And that's another thing, like even with the whole, I've been making content. It's not something that I would say that I would choose ideally. It's like, oh yeah, I would love being in front of the camera. I really don't. But again, I recognize opportunity.
See, but that's how it is with most cameramen. They like the camera, they just don't like being in front of it.
Yeah, but then again, I'll say that in some of the, how do you model? It's like, again, I recognize opportunity. I could do anything well if I'm paid enough for it.
I mean, hey, that's ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a lot of people's deciding factor right there. Yeah. So I was gonna say too. I know the audience probably wants to know, like, so what type of services do you offer when it comes to the media?
It really, honestly, anything. Like I know a lot of people, they tend to niche down. I'm against that only because I like challenges and I like figuring things out. So, like I know some people, they're lifestyle photographers, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. They're really good lifestyle photographers, and they don't want to do anything else. Or they're sports photographers and they only want to do sports. And honestly, a lot of if you look at people tell you like growing your page or you growing your audience, or whatever, you gotta pick one. I don't like picking one. Like I do sports, I do lifestyle, I'll do portrait, I'll do studio. I'll do whatever it is as long as it's a project that I feel like I can get done and I would enjoy doing.
I don't feel like it should be that hard, really. Like in terms of being able to adapt, because
But the thing is, they're so different. Like lifestyle photography,
I
sometimes
feel
it's
like
very
it's more
simple.
flash, right?
Yeah, it's like it's flash.
But then it's like when it comes to the sports, it's more shutter. Like shout out to my homegirl Ash Banks. Like she has, cause I have a Sony here, but I started with a Canon. She has this. It's a, what is it? I think it's a T7.
Mm-hmm.
She got a T7 too, and it's like she's been taking like the whole summer. She's been taking like all basketball tournaments. She's been everywhere with it, and it's like I just seen you get this camera in like February. She's wild. Like
Now that's fire though.
no, I give her a lot of credit because
As you should.
her pictures is
But
up
see,
there.
that's why, and I also like I don't have a website. I also don't necessarily like. I know some people who shy away from people DMing them to book. I feel like I have to speak to you about your project
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what it is you really want. To one, give you like I have a base price that I give you,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's like it depends on what we're doing. Are we doing an event? If we're doing an event, I can give you a base price, but then again, I offer certain add-ons. Do you want me to bring a Polaroid camera so you have Polaroids to take home for your guests? Do you want, like again, I try to offer so many different things, and again, I try to do everything tailored to the client.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give you more of a quote than it is. Like I have packages, but it's so customizable because I can do so many different things that I feel like I have to speak to you for this to actually go super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I haven't had many complaints where it's like, oh, after the gig, people are like, oh, I don't really think. Most of the time, like 95% of the time, if someone works with me, after it, they love it. Because before that, we spoke about what needed to be done. I knew, okay, I got to bring an extra light because I'm going to an event that has no lights and black walls.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I just give you some people just bring every light. But again, I just want to know. So I believe in over preparing. Let me say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably too just because like you have the experience as a barber, because barbers also have the add-ons too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a good mindset to have there too. But I was gonna say too, I feel like when it comes because even for me, it's like that Sony right there was gifted to me. The Canon, like I said, was my first camera that I bought. Those are things that I want to learn because I know like when it comes to like the color grading, the lighting, stuff like that, all matters. Because I'm just like I'm taking, like you said earlier, right? You're taking pictures with a camera on basic auto or manual, and it looks like your iPhone, right? But then it's like I'm seeing people with the same cameras taking some fire pictures. I'm thinking, oh well, maybe I need to buy this light.
Yeah,
Maybe I need to buy this like something this lens to add on or something like that.
you
The
gotta
whole time
learn
they're doing
lighting.
the same thing I'm doing. They're just adjusting their settings.
Two biggest things you gotta learn: lighting and composition.
Hmm.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, because I even see like a post too where it's like, oh, iPhone shortcuts for the camera, and then I'm just like, wow, I didn't know I could do that now.
Yep.
The iPhone is taking professional pictures and whatnot.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of negative reviews on like raw reviews. It's funny enough because I just seen you got a positive review, so congratulations on that. But I've been seeing a lot of photographers recently get these negative reviews. I don't know if like you're too like well let me not say that. I don't know if you're in tune with like the raw reviews pages. I don't know if you like see the reviews yourself, but
I try to stay away from stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just time consuming, honestly.
Mhm.
And like most people, I'm not really drama or I don't follow the shade room. I don't follow anything that really has negativity. It's just time consuming for no reason.
well, I was just gonna ask like from your from your perspective, as I guess both the photographer and the consumer, like why do you feel like a lot of photographers been getting like a lot of like bad reviews lately? Because again, like I said, I've seen you get a positive, but then I see like a bunch of popular photographers and videographers at that get terrible reviews, and it's
I mean, I don't. It
and
could
it's
be
like seeing
communication.
yours is like a breath of fresh air, really, because it's like I've been seeing just a streak, photographers and videographers, bad reviews left and
Really?
right. Yeah, I don't think I've seen one outside of yours. I don't think I've seen one green review on their page.
Oh,
recently.
I mean,
And
that's tough. But
and I know road reviews is a small sample size compared to photographers worldwide, but if you could speak on like the disconnect between you and maybe your own personal clients, or just how you see most photographers with their clients, where do you feel like the disconnect is?
I feel like most disconnects is communication. Because again, like for example, if you, let's say I were coming to shoot this podcast, right? And you just book through my website and you give me whatever price, you have a preconceived notion on what you expect me to show up with, what you expect me to produce, what you expect me to act like, right? And we've never had a conversation. And I don't know what I'm walking into. So now you're a paying client who has a certain expectation. I don't even know what that is. And sometimes, like, you may not even be, well, if you're booking through my website, you're familiar with my work. But again, you may have seen something that, let's say I was at a studio that had these lights already and I don't have them myself. So now when I come to your studio,
You don't have.
I didn't know I had to bring this. And again, it's communication. Because everything I've done hasn't been perfect. I had one person, they had booked me for a basketball video for an event that they were having. And they sent me 3 examples of someone else's work. And I just was like, yo, like, again, beforehand, I was like, look, this is amazing. Like, I like it. Do I think I can do it? Yes. But I want you to go on my page and look at some things I have done that you like as well, just to make sure that it's...
You get something more
just
accurate.
to make sure that I can do what you're about to pay me this money to do. And they went on my page, they found some things that they like, and they said, okay, yes, like, we'll move forward with that. I feel like that was me prefacing, like, okay, let me make sure you're not holding me to a standard of something I've never done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after that, we had to do a few revisions to the video because, again, they didn't like this, they didn't like that. And, again, certain things, they even were communication errors. Like, I remember one thing that I had an issue with somebody else at a different gym with. They were upset that I hadn't had captured videos of the alumni that were in the crowd. I didn't know who the alumni in the crowd were. Because I
guess what, we got the T-shirt or the feds.
I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. So it's like, when I'm sitting down to edit, I feel bad because I didn't do this, but there was no way for me to know that before. And I got shots of the crowd. It just wasn't the alumni in the crowd. So it's like, again, but I learned from that. I said, yo, if I would have known that, if I'd have known who was the keys to, like, what they wanted in it beforehand, I would have been fine. So now, whenever I go to an event, I tell them, yo, give me a list of anybody you want to make sure is in the final product.
Especially, too, when it's, like, parties and stuff, like, people come to you for the pictures. Like, hey, can you take a picture of us? Or the person hosting the event might say, hey, make sure you get a picture of that person, right? Or especially if it's videography, hey, make sure you catch that over there, you know?
Exactly. So, again,
so you can't say it's definitely not on you.
It's usually communication. Because I even remember I was at a party. And I know the client. I didn't know the videographer. They produced the video. They sent it to me, like, what do you think? I said, this is amazing. And it was like, yo, they didn't get a video of my mom. I was like, well, like, was your mom avoiding the camera? Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
That could be, that could be a factor too.
And I've been a videographer at an event. When people shy away from the camera, especially you got this big light in front of everybody's face, everybody doesn't want to be on the camera. Yeah. So unless, again, you do it beforehand. Or sometimes just
annoyed from it too, right?
Yeah, unless you know beforehand, it's all communication though. That's that's why I don't ever really want to. You get to a certain level and you have certain basic packages, but I don't really want to have go on my website and book and I just show up and I've never spoken to this person. I personally don't think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I feel that.
So again, it's mostly communication though, because most of the things that go wrong, that there's a complaint about after, if you spoke about it before, you would have been fine.
Yeah. So I mean, especially in summertime. So what's the future plans, like, you know, now that it's summer and whatnot? Because I know graduation is kind of out the way now. The proms are definitely out the way. I know you probably have weddings probably coming up. And I've seen you do content with like basketball players, WNBA, NBA. Like, so what's next for Mixson Media?
Well,
Or what do you have upcoming? Maybe even for today. If
I'm pretty
seems
sure.
like you got
Today
something
I'm actually chilling.
Okay.
I was out yesterday. I was doing I was actually filming with my boy Big. Shout out to Chef Biggs. He had a wedding to cater.
He was an IMO too, right?
Yeah.
He was,
He
right?
had a
That's why the
wedding
name sound
to
familiar.
cater,
Yeah.
and then he also had a huge party, EMC out in Coney
Yeah.
Island.
Everybody was there but me. I hate that. Nobody. Listen, all of y'all watch it. None of y'all told me about that
It's
party.
all right. I didn't know about it either. I knew I was
feel like
going
I
to
was
a
the only
party.
person that wasn't there.
He told me the day of, and he was like, "Yo, it's like a pink dress code. You might want to change."
And I have some great pink outfits. I'm wearing pink pants right now. I have some great pink outfits out of war.
So he was like, "Y'all got a
next
big
year.
day, and I want to make sure I capture it the right way." He hit me. I gave him the price. He wasn't cheap about it. He didn't try to haggle me. He said, "Look, let's do it." So I'm probably gonna start working on that today. And as far as the summer goes, though, I've actually I didn't like doing lifestyle photo shoots before. I opened myself up to them because again, it's simple.
The opportunity is definitely there. Everybody's
Yeah.
going to do it.
It's simple, but I usually I like the creative challenges sometimes. I like a lot more complexity, but I've opened myself up to doing that. I'm gonna end up on a lot of people's sidelines, summer basketball. It's just in my network. I was a basketball player.
It's relatable.
Yeah,
You're
it's
kind of
just-
like a
it's gonna
product
happen.
right there.
But
like,
it's funny because I've actually been shying away from basketball a little bit because I want to show that I can do other
more
than,
things, right?
especially because like I have contracts with high schools already for their basketball seasons.
And season's kind of done now.
So it's like I don't want to be the only the sports guy. I actually enjoy other things more. So I've been I've also started making like content for myself, behind the scenes stuff, just doing different things. So
I mean, this definitely adds to it.
yeah,
for
no,
sure.
absolutely. I appreciate you for having me as well.
Mm.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm focused on right now.
Okay. Yeah. So how should I mean, I know you mentioned the website earlier, but how do you prefer people book you and whatnot? And where should people find you at when it comes
Oh no,
to
you
social
can
media
DM
and
me.
stuff like that?
I'm on Instagram. My personal page is mistermixson, and my work page is Mixson Media. I know again, some people keep it together, but I feel like
No,
I'm
you
more
shouldn't.
than just
Trust me. I'm against that. I'm
You're
against that. Yeah, I'm against
Why?
that. I just had this discussion the other day. I don't even know if I did a podcast on it or not, but there was this one guy. His name I'm not even gonna put his name because that's somebody that I'm cool with. But what's it called? He was telling me how everything's oh yeah, I did do an episode on it now that I think about it. But he was telling me how he had like everything on his page, and he basically told me go look at his page for the work, if that makes sense. And it was kind of like, it felt a little rude, like the way he said it, because he's just like, yeah, no, everything's on my page, just go look. And I'm just like, bro, who the like, you feel me? You feel me? It was just like, nah, that's not how I roll. But because I asked him, I said, hey, do you have a business page? And he replied, nah, everything's on my page, go look. It's the go look that really triggered me, because I'm just like, bro, like, if you left that everything's on my page, I was like, all right, well, I guess maybe I'll go look at your page. But you tell me to go look as if it's like, it felt like aggression was in that message, when you said it. And it's like, I looked at his page, I'm just like, bro, I don't know what I'm looking at. I see pictures of you, I see pictures of your family. Because this was for a clothing line, by the way. I see, and it's not even like I'm seeing any of the clothing line. I'm seeing like, family pictures. All right, that's cool. I'm seeing pictures of you in a fly outfit at the club. All right, that's cool. I'm seeing you posting, lifestyle stuff, like I'm making this up, but, I'm seeing, your picture of your dog. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. I don't see anything that tells me, hey, this is my clothing line, tap into it. Hey, this is my clothing line, check it out. Like, I don't see those type of posts. So, I recommended, hey, you should do a separate page. He shut it down right there. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And I said, all right, well.
Did you ask him why?
Touche.
Did you ask him why?
Yeah, he said, oh, that's my work. I'm just like.
So I know, like, I know some people, I know some photographers who have one page. It works for them, but they're also not people who post themselves a lot.
No, yeah, I was gonna say that too. They don't post themselves.
Yeah,
those photographers.
they barely post themselves. If they do, it's like it doesn't really matter. But I feel like because I do so many different things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny because that's why I actually had titled it Mr. Mixson, because everything else is like a branch of Mixon,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like the home base. I'm Mr. Mixson behind all the different things, mixing media, mixing cuts, whatever else I get into, my trading. So this is like, that is me,
That's you.
and then everything else is like a branch. So if you want to see my work, you go to Mixing Media.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to see who I am, it's on Mr. Mixon.
Yeah, I mean, I always wondered too, like when I see photographers post like their own content, and it's just as good as this, because I know photographers who it's like, okay, these are my clients, all professional pictures, and then here's my picture of myself in the iPhone, quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like I see some people where it's like everything matches, like even my own personal pictures match the pictures from my clients,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, so who took these? Or like, but that's the thing too. Then it makes me think: does it really matter like who took the picture? Because it kind of has to deal with the back end work, like getting on the computer and doing the edits and stuff like
Well,
that.
it does. It does. Well, it's funny. I when I got my camera, I started taking pictures of myself because that's the only time I was comfortable taking a picture.
But how you had like what is it?
Yeah,
it's-
a
it's-
trigger.
Yeah,
A trigger.
what do they
And
call it? Like
most
something
cameras can
360 or
connect to
something
your
like that.
phone. Now, most cameras can connect right to
Oh
your
yeah,
phone.
that is true. Yeah.
So my camera connects to my phone. If you see, especially back like before, my phone is in all my pictures because I didn't realize you could put the timer on there. So I'm clicking shutter, so I'm acting like I'm on my phone or something. It's in a lot of my pictures.
Yeah,
But now it's like, again, if I want to take a picture, if I got an outfit I like, I set everything up on a tripod, I click the self timer, and I just
10
go
seconds.
pose. But that, and it's also like, again, you make photography friends, you got other photographer friends. Whenever I'm on a sideline, I see other photographers, and I'm doing photo, I try to take pictures of them because we don't ever get pictures of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, everybody has a different editing style. So I send them, because I feel like with photographers, we take pride in certain things, like how we edit, and it makes us us.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes because I know I'm dealing with a photographer, I'll send them the file I edited for them, like my work, but then I'll also send them the raw, because maybe they want to do something with it themselves.
That makes sense.
So, again, it really depends, but everybody has their own thing that they go with.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mix. So, it was definitely a pleasure to have you here. According to the fake TikTok, this is something I was looking forward to, but, of course, it definitely was something I was looking forward to for sure. You can ask Cal, I told him a while back when it came to, like, my original list of, like, guest people that I had, people like you, Jasim, well, him, of course, being that his episode's been out, like, for, like, a year now. And, other people that I had along the line, I was like, hey, can you, like, introduce me to these people? Fortunately for me, I introduced myself. I didn't need, anybody to introduce me, right? But
actually, shout out to the fake TikTok, right, for making this happen.
Yeah, shout out to the fake TikTok.
That's the first good thing that's come out of that.
We gonna report you though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna look for it later tonight. I'm gonna report that page. But
that is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a pleasure, and as always, tune in, show love.
Appreciate
if you got a booking, he might give you a discount. You never know. So make sure you put what's cooking.
You want a discount code? I give you a discount code.
He's gonna give you our discount code. But you gotta watch the episode to the end to find out.
What you gonna do?
All right, what's the discount code?
What's cooking 20? What's cooking 20?
All right, what's cooking 20%?
If they DM me that, I'll give them 20% off.
So if you made it to this part of the episode, 20% off.
Got you.
Straight like that. All right, just like that. It's a pleasure. We out.
Appreciate you.
You enjoyed another episode of What's Cookin' NYC. You can't find us in any air fryer, and you can't cook us because we're available on all streaming platforms. Like, comment, subscribe.